is that, okay, you're making assumptions based on gender-specific things as to whether this person was male or female by giving them female-based toys versus male-based toys. Have you thought about possibly restructuring that now that we're raising our children to be gender neutral? And he says, oh, well, not yet. I guess we're going to have to look at that. So it's you know, society is changing. You have to change your research methods with it.
Well, not to mention the fact that they could have reincarnated into a different gender.
Absolutely,
so,
and they find
yeah.
that. Yeah, they do find that. And most of the cases they were able to find the most information with tend to go from same gender to same gender, but not always.
Now, do you believe that TV makes it like there is a whole lot more of evil spirits or bad spirits than what there really is?
Absolutely.
Especially if you're watching Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's problematic simply because, and that's partially due to entertainment value. Right. I mean, people want to be scared. It's fun to be scared. That's why people jump into ghost hunting with both feet sometimes without looking first. They think this is going to be a fun house effect. They can have this experience. Ooh, that was fun. Then go home and sleep it off. It doesn't always happen that way. And I have to warn people when they want to do ghost hunting. It's like, that stuff can come home with you, you know. And they're like, whoa, what? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. It's an intelligence. It's a consciousness. It's an intelligence. If it likes you or if it wants to mess with you, it can follow you home. Yeah, sure. And they're like, you mean it's not all done when we're done for the night? No. No, you want that? You go to the JC's haunted house, or you go to the fun house, you know, next door. You want that? Go do that. But yeah, a lot of these shows tend to get darker and darker and darker. And I remember I had a side conversation one time with Amy Allen, who does the Dead Files on Travel Channel.
Right.
And I asked her about that. I said, I see that D word coming out of you harder and harder these days. And she just rolls her eyes, and she's just like, I have to fit our demographic. I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, that's what they want me to say. Right. There are so many layers to this thing that people don't even know, she said. She goes, I've been doing this for years and years and years. I've encountered so many things. That's just one shade of the things out there. But that's the word everybody wants to hook onto. That's the word everybody identifies with, so I have to use that word. And I'm just like, wow.
It's called ratings.
Yes, it's called ratings.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have actually came across a ghost hunting series of sorts on one of the BuzzFeed channels. It's a couple of young men who are very funny. The trouble is they drop the F-bomb so often, I'm like, I can't share these on the Paranormal View Facebook page. I mean, I share a lot of the ghost videos from other users that compile ghost clips, which are really good. But as much as I enjoy watching these guys, and I don't mind F-bombs myself, and like I say, they're very funny, they're very self-deprecating and deprecating to each other. And you have the one who's a kind of skeptic and the other who's whole hog about it. It's very funny, and it's called Unsolved, if you want to look it up. Yeah. And I just watched them do Waverly, and they don't seem to have done Post Town. They always end their videos where should we investigate next? And so I said, try Post Town Elementary, because apparently their motto is, after you leave, you believe.
Okay.
Cute. If you want funny ghost, watch Knock Knock Ghost.
Is that a video or series?
No, it's on a series on Amazon.
Huh.
Amazon. Okay.
Okay, they want money.
Yeah. Well,
they want money.
If you have Prime, then it's
Got it.
Knock Knock Ghost. Okay.
Knock Knock Ghost. It's very good.
I forget. I think it was Chris St. Booth that said that you're coming to the end of a genre when it starts making fun of itself.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, sometimes you have to make fun of it because you need that mass humor in there. It's just like all the memes with the virus these days. And somebody pointed out very fast, where I don't understand why all these memes are out there. And then you have to point out to them, most of the nursery rhymes kids use when they're skipping rope were actually plague.
Yeah.
Ring Around the Rosie is a great example of a plague song. So even then they were making fun of it.
It's part of the human nature. It's either you laugh or you cry. It's just it's the way of dealing with things. I mean, before I go to bed, I don't watch anything dramatic or anything serious in my bedroom. I watch comedies. It's the only way I can get to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have people laugh at me. They're just like, well, haven't you seen the latest, Conjuring flick? Have you seen the latest? And I'm like, no. I get enough of that from the phone calls that ask me to come out. I don't want to see that stuff. Half the time I'm watching those shows laughing at them anyway.
Well, you know who Ed Gein was?
Yes.
There was a book written by the judge in his case where he details how the trial went and all that. But he devotes a chapter to the fact of this macabre, dark humor surrounding Ed Gein, who was a suspected, never convicted of cannibalism, and all of these jokes that were making the rounds, like, what does Ed Gein serve at dinner parties, ladyfingers, things like that. And he was saying that the only way people could get over the horror of what he had done was to make light of it and to make humor of it, even if it was dark humor. So, a lot of the viral, you might say, memes that are out there are very comedic and dark humored and such. I just came across one of a guy sitting on a subway with an alien face hugger on his face, and it says the most natural coronavirus face mask.
Oh, jeez.
That's very true. But, it's a slant, and I know it's entertainment, but also it colors how people see the paranormal and what kids and people are viewing as what is supposed to happen, and that is, it's dark, it's sinister, and if you got 3 scratches on your arm, it's obviously the devil.
And what's so funny is I talked to Bishop Long about that, and that's where it came from. It came from Ghost Hunters, or Ghost Adventures, when they went down to Bobby Mackey's, and Bishop Long let it slip, and he said he's regretted it ever since, because he was just thinking out loud, 3 scratches on the arm.
Oh.
And he said, no, I was just thinking out loud. I had no idea it was going to gravitate to the community like it did. And it was just like, oh, how could you not? But anyway, it's just one of the things that you have to be careful of. And that's why I don't want to be on TV or any of those other things, because, who knows how the editor is going to cut your episode up?
Right.
To frame whatever. And that's what, even talking to Kim Russo, when I talked to her about doing The Haunting Up, which is a spectacular series, by the way, on Lifetime. It's a continuation of Celebrity Ghost Stories. She actually takes those people back to where they had the celebrity experience and explains to them what really happened to them.
Great show. I'd like to get her on the show sometime, but
that's been a while since that's been on.
Yeah, it's back on again, I guess, on Life. Is it Lifetime that's doing it? They're doing it back to back with Celebrity Ghost Story now.
Huh.
So they have the Celebrity Ghost Story, and then they have her taking them there. So that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to get Amy Allen on the show too, so I haven't been able to do that yet.
Yeah, she's still working hard. She's still working those series.
Yep.
But Kim, I talked to Kim, and she said by the time she's done, they're done editing her show, she doesn't even look like her. And it frustrates her because it makes her look like she's invincible and she's perfect. And she goes, none of us are. Because none of our readings are perfect, and that's difficult when people go to see mediums. And I see mediums get frustrated with it because the people come to them thinking they're going to be flawless, just like Amy Allen. They're going to be flawless, just like Kim Russo. Well, they weren't either. the editors cut them to look that way.
Yep, it's all in the editing.
Yeah, and Teresa Caputo as well.
It's called ratings.
Well, yeah.
That's
But
right.
that's why, as much as The Bachelor is a guilty pleasure of mine, when I watch it, I'm thinking, this is all, and they're like, this is the villain of the season. I'm like, no, that's how it's edited.
It's casted that way, yeah. Yeah, and you noticed that too when you had the writer's strike. It's like the reality shows didn't do that well either because the writers went away. The writers are actually scripting that stuff. And so, none of the reality shows are free of scripting. They're not free of editing. They're there, and that tends to be a real detriment, especially when I come in and do consultations. I don't really do field investigations like some paranormal investigators do. I don't stay overnight. I don't have all the cameras set up. I don't do that. I come in usually after they come and gone, and the client still has questions. And so when I come in, these clients are absolutely adamant they have the conjuring going on in their house. And then I have to break the news to them that the conjuring wasn't even real thing. And they're like, what? And it's just like, well, let me tell you. And then I'll go through and break down some of the story. I said, but that's nonsense anyway. Says you don't have that going on in your house. I could parade psychic after psychic after psychic through that house, and they will have it ingrained in their head. Nope. They've already decided. And at that point, there's nothing I can do for them.
Huh. Well, it's like, as much as I love Lee Winnell, and I'll watch any movie he does now since, like, Upgrade and Invisible Man, he wrote the Insidious series, which is kind of part of the Conjuring universe, more like the sister franchise. But he and his friends are dressed like Mormons, with a white shirt and a black tie. I'm like, that's not how ghost investigators do that. No. But of course, in a prequel, they jokingly point out how that ended up happening, and that they used to dress much more 1960s casual, and it was I can't remember the actress's name, and I met her. She told them, no, you need to dress up and look more professional, and then they ended up going just the wrong way.
So, Geoff, if they put on sunglasses and hats, they'd be the Boo Brothers.
That's right.
Boo Brothers.
Oh, without the house, that would be Men in Black.
Exactly.
Now, you was talking about Post Town, I guess, Geoff and them. They've got a thing in September. Hopefully it'll still be on. It's an event, I forget what it's called, but you can go to Post Town, look it up. Ghost Con or something like that too, or something like that, and it's for Saturday and Sunday, and the event is free. You can have a table for free, just set up, and they have already got tons of people that's going to be there, including me. So, but that's pretty interesting.
What happens?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
will you be investigating as well while you're there?
No, it's just it's a meet and greet kind of event. Now they will probably have it set up to where you can do an investigation, but I won't be doing that.
No, I would do anything. I would love to be able to get there if I had a working TARDIS.
I gave you one. Don't you ever use it?
I wish. Every time I fantasize fixing something, I thought, if I had a TARDIS, I would fix that. Getting from place to place usually is, so.
Yeah. So, our time is winding on down pretty fast. Is there anything else that you would like to ask us, or anything else you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'd like to put out there that Dr. Julia Mossbridge of the Mossbridge Institute has instated Hope Intervention 1.